So I'm here with Alroy Almeida from Voltaire. Alroy, would you mind telling me a little bit more about what Voltaire has been up to in the past 5 months or so?
Sure. So everybody knows Voltaire as the go-to prototyping tool for standard rigid electronics, FR4 based rigid systems. But one of the major shifts in focus that we've been undertaking over the last few months and well into the rest of this year is really doubling down on the PE side of things. So we really want to be that bridge between people from the traditional electronic space and the printed electronic space. And so we're here at IDTechEx trying to partner with a lot of the ink manufacturers and start highlighting their materials, a lot of these substrate manufacturers highlighting the materials that they're developing. And so we've got some examples of flexible electronics and different coated materials that we're working with right now, just in order to show off what all these developers, I can hold that, just to show off what all these developers are working on in the lab and actually helping them get it out, get it commercialized, and get in front of the people who are inevitably going to be using it in their products. And we think it's important to be that bridge because it allows the developers of these inks and these substrates to get in front of users earlier in their development cycle, rather than when they're already at the mass manufacturing stage and the decisions of what they're making are already made for them.
Yes, absolutely. So what are the substrates that these boards have been printed on?
Yeah, so we've got some polyimide films, PET, coated PET. You can see over here, we've got electronics that we've made on acrylics and other materials that can be thermoformed. We've used flexible substrates that we are then able to essentially turn into conformal electronics by adhering them to other curved substrates like this and this kind of airfoil style design as well as the combination of the rigid and the flexible. This is a ZIF connector for a sensor that's on this flexible material that would then light up some LEDs. Just simple examples of how you can start experimenting with printed electronics and really trying to bring down those barriers to getting your feet wet in the conductive ink space and things like that.
Sounds like a lot's been going on. So what should we continue to expect from Voltaire?
So, like I said, the rest of this year is going to be primarily focused on highlighting what other people in the space are doing, highlighting the different inks and substrates that developers a lot of the manufacturers here are creating, showing use cases and case studies with those organizations, as well as focusing a lot more on what our customers have been doing, which is honestly something that we haven't been doing enough of. We've got over 1,000 machines in the field, and we want to show off what our amazing users are developing, whether it be the traditional electronics or the boundaries that they're pushing in PE as well.
Okay, sounds good.
And then on the software side, we're constantly making improvements over here.
Just so I can hear.
So our software, not much has changed on the front end of it. Definitely with the addition of the drill attachment that we announced last year at IDTechEx. It was actually released earlier this year. That's the one major software upgrade that you'll see when you open up your V-One software. If you haven't done it in a while, it'll automatically update and say, hey, you now have more capabilities. And that's sort of how we approach the user experience for our product. We don't want it to be very difficult to use. It feels more like an app on your phone. The way it automatically updates, and all of a sudden, you've got new features and new functionality, and videos that guide you through every single step of the process. We're really trying to get out of the way and help people learn how to use the product with almost no learning curve.
Great. Sounds like a lot's going on.
Yeah.
Certainly got a lot to look out for over the next 6 months.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We're going to be really busy on the PE side of things, like I had mentioned.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you very much, Alroy.
Thank you, Brandon.
Turn it around. Sit down.